Back in the day, friendship content groups were the key to success on YouTube. People loved watching a group of friends share their lives together and live out the ultimate friends fantasy. These content groups were highly successful, not only as a group, but also as individuals. Naturally, fans would have someone in these groups that they gravitated more towards, and they would follow them on their own separate platform. We saw this happen with one of the most popular friendship groups on YouTube.
Guys, since it's Easter, we're gonna have an Easter egg hunt.
What's the catch?
There's money inside.
What's There are 5 eggs. They look like this.
And it could be in this area too.
It could literally be in the garbage bin.
Bitch, what are y'all waiting for? Y'all know them shit's out here somewhere.
Okay, go.
The Vlog Squad started off as a massive group of friends, with most of them being from David's childhood and some of them being from Vine. David was at the center of these friendship groups, and he was able to monetize these friendships with 4-minute and 21-second videos over on his YouTube channel. At first, it might seem a little bit unfair that David gets to post all these videos of his friends under his own name, all while his friends are pretty much the main part of his videos. But the thing is, the more these people would appear in his videos, the more followers they would get on their own platforms, allowing them to separately grow their own brands. As we all know, David and the Vlog Squad have had their fair share of scandals, with the most notable being the situation with the Insider article and what happened with Jeff. As fans of David started to get older, they started to realize just how harmful the environment David created was. Over the years, there's been countless injuries from their dangerous stunts, cast members feeling pressured to do uncomfortable bits out of fear of being cut from the group. There's been a complete lack of any HR from David, and not to mention putting his friends and strangers in really dangerous situations. People were slowly starting to wake up to these things, and it finally came crashing down after the excavator accident with Jeff. Between the pandemic and the backlash David received over what happened with Jeff, he slowly started bringing the Vlog Squad to a close. It started off with David not following his upload schedule and leaving behind his famous 4-minute and 21-second timestamp, which led to David posting less and less and moving on to other things. He started a podcast, which has also since been abandoned. Jeff moved on and started his own show called Jeff FM and Jeff's Barbershop. Corinna's been doing her thing with her own. Carly and Aaron branched off together and they started their own podcasts, and so did Zayn and Heath, and even Jason. It's safe to say the Vlog Squad is over, and it doesn't look like they're coming back anytime soon. There's been a lot of questions from fans recently, especially because David kind of left out of nowhere and never really told anyone anything. There's been no real announcement about him being done. He just left one day and that was it. A lot of fans who grew up watching these guys want to know who's still friends with who and if things are good between everyone, but it doesn't really look like things are going as good as fans were hoping for. Carly and Aaron, who in my opinion have probably been the most distant from the people in the Vlog Squad, recently actually came out and addressed the constant messages that they get asking them about these friendships. They pretty much said that they don't really want to air out any specifics, but they have been really hurt.
I just know there's a lot of questions. I haven't looked yet, but I'm assuming about like personal friendships.
Oh yeah, I haven't looked either.
I'm just
I was
assuming.
like, let's be surprised.
And like for me, I just don't like to air personal things specific like that online.
Yeah. If it weren't for Carly, you guys would have known a year ago.
Well, you can still. You got a channel, girly.
Oh, tea.
Every time I go on TikTok live, it's always the question. So I guess like kind of addressing it here, but it's like, what happened with blah blah blah?
Yeah.
And I'm always just like, stop. I don't owe you.
No.
However, I do like get it because it's like things have changed. Obviously, there's been some heartbreak. I will say. Yeah. I think you would definitely agree with that.
Hearts have been shattered.
Hearts have been shattered to pieces.
But that doesn't mean that they aren't still friends with some of the Vlog Squad members, because they recently went on Jason's podcast only a few days ago, and they seem really excited to catch up with him. There was a point where Jason brought up David, and he asked them what their favorite moment filming with him was, and I feel like Aaron's face kind of says it all.
In cave, that's like 3 pinball machines.
What was your funnest time shooting the videos with David?
Well, I liked being surprised, but I was also so scared.
Yeah, it was a good mix. Yeah.
Yeah.
You guys
probably
got
just like
surprised a lot.
driving around LA.
Yeah.
Like
the laughs.
There's been a lot of speculation that something happened during Aaron's wedding, and that's why they distanced themselves from these friendships. Erin was planning her wedding during the height of COVID, and the venue that she booked had a really strict vaccination and testing policy. Erin and Carly were taking the pandemic really seriously, but I can't say the same about a lot of their friends. During a podcast, Erin talked about how frustrated she was over all the last-minute cancellations because of the vaccination and testing policy that the venue had. During the actual wedding day, there were a lot of Vlog Squad members there, like David and Jason and a few others. But Zayn and Heath and Mariah were missing. It was believed that they all refused to either take a vaccination or get tested, so they opted out of the wedding. Now, we never got an actual answer from Erin about why they weren't at her wedding, but our suspicions were confirmed this week during the roast of Zayn. Every few years, everyone comes together and roast each other. The previous years have been pretty relaxed, mainly to keep sponsors happy, but this year was much different. Some of the things being said were extremely harsh, and people think there's a bit of truth to some of these jokes. Starting off, we have the joke about Zayn, Heath, and Mariah missing Erin's wedding.
It is so awesome that both of our fiancés are here. Oh wait, this is awkward. You haven't proposed yet, you deadbeat. Hey, Mariah, don't worry though, okay? It doesn't mean that Heath doesn't love you. It's just that we all know how difficult it is for Heath to commit to actually going to a wedding. But Erin sends her regards, by the way. Anyways, thank you guys so much.
Zayn is really stubborn. He once ended a 10-year-long friendship by refusing to take a COVID test. Which is funny, because most of his relationships end because he refuses to take an STD test.
It must have been really hard for her to know that a bunch of her friends that she's known for a really long time rather miss out on seeing her get married than just simply take a vaccination or get tested. But as we move on to this next part, let's just remember, this roast was supposed to be a roast of Zayn. But to most people, it was feeling more like a roast of Heath because people were really coming for him. Some of these jokes have people thinking that there must be some truth behind them.
Thank God Heath finally got in shape. Congrats, Heath. Really, truly. Unfortunately, though, it's going to be a lot of work for Mariah, who has to knit a much smaller clan outfit.
I had to sign an NDA, show Heath my immigration papers.
Filtered when they have to filter out Heath's racism every episode.
Some people were saying, oh, it's probably because he's from the South and they're just leaning into that stereotype. But most people are like, the fact that every single person pretty much said the same thing about him probably isn't a coincidence. Here's what people had to say. There isn't smoke without fire. Way too many racist jokes for him not to be one. Did anyone see Mariah nodding her head when Jason said they had to filter out Heath's racism? One or two racist jokes about Heath would have been sus, but when everyone calls you out on it, you know there's definitely truth to it. After everyone roasted Heath, he decided to get up on stage, and this is what he had to say.
Come on now. Everybody give it up for Ella. Buddy, good set. Ella likes dating athletes, so I brought up Steph Curry. Ella got and Hadaya got hungry. I do gotta address something. I don't get why everybody keeps calling me a racist. I hang out with Taylor and she's a quarter Asian.
This whole roast just felt really off to me. You could tell some people in the audience felt really uncomfortable with some of these jokes, and I don't know, but it honestly just shocked me. The last roast they did on Jason actually had its really funny moments, but it was definitely more tame than this one, which is making people wonder if these people secretly hate each other. I mean, just listen to this joke about Natalie.
Natalie, hey girl. Natalie's here tonight. She reminds me a lot of AOL dial-up. Annoying, unreliable, and impossible to find a connection with. A lot of people say she doesn't have a lot of close girlfriends, but that's mainly because Todd slept with them all. And now the man of the hour, Zayn Natasha.
And Natalie was taking a lot of hits, to the point where Todd was actually glancing over at her constantly, just making sure that she was okay. One person in the comments wrote, "I'm convinced they all hate Natalie because this is the second time they've dragged her to filth when she's not even the one getting roasted. All of the insults towards Natalie seem genuine." And look, maybe this is normal for these guys, and they've just been so used to making fun of each other that they're not even fazed by it. David's vlogs could definitely get a little bit harsh sometimes, and even people like Gabby Hanna have come out and said their jokes actually hurt them, but they had to sit there and take it.
Oh look, no faces and personality. Just like the Gabby show.
I was pointing to myself.
Look at that thing on her lip.
What, the pimple? Zayn, why would you say that?
Because you're a girl, I know it'd hurt you.
But I was so excited to go to Target that I was sitting on my bed literally just waiting for your text. I was just so excited.
Are you not wearing makeup? It's so easy to tell. The beauty aisle. Gabby, have you ever been in there? Probably not.
She's beautiful.
What?
Turn the camera off.
Okay.
I'm still right here.
What was really interesting about this roast was even though David was in the audience, not a single joke was told about him. If I'm not mistaken, all the other times David got his fair share of roasts, but this time there was nothing. A lot of people think that David probably made a rule not to tell any jokes about him because he's already in enough trouble with the lawsuit with Jeff and everything else that's been going on with him. One person wrote, "The fact that not a single person commented anything about David further proves the level of control he has over them. Yikes." And you know, there were a lot that these people could have said about David. All these people have had their turn of being the punchline to all of David's jokes, so it's really strange that they were clearly instructed not to say anything about him. I guess if anyone made any kind of joke about what he did to Jeff, that could be used as evidence against him in the lawsuit, so maybe that's the reason why. So yeah, we definitely got a lot of answers that we've been wanting to know, like with Carly and Aaron, and honestly, I think they made the right move. They got away from this group at the perfect time, and they've been killing it alone. As for the rest of the former Vlog Squad, to me, it kind of seems like David still has some type of control over them, even though he's not even vlogging anymore. Anyways guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.